Disclaimer. Information contained within the Week in Ethereum website is for entertainment purposes only. This newsletter should not be considered investment advice.
Welcome to Week in Ethereum News, a weekly newsletter by journalist Evan Van Ness. Please notify us of any errors or additions. weekinethereum.com. Broadcasting weekly across the Ethereum Interplanetary Network. Fresh Music Weekly by Oblivionati. I'm your host, Jeremiah Nichol. Welcome to Week in Ethereum News, the audio version. I am Jeremiah Nichol. This is now officially powered by Status. At least Evan Van Ness's side is officially powered by Status. So congratulations to Evan on landing that prestigious spot on their blog space. The Status team is really ramping things up, it seems, and helping to spread the word on the Ethereum ecosystem on a regular basis now. So good things will come in time with this, and I'm having a lot of fun producing this audio bit for you. I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the top thing of the week, I believe, is the state of the ENS, a nice little blog post by Nick Johnson. To quote his Medium blog article, "We are a week into the ENS launch. Time to stop and take stock. How has the launch gone so far? About 12% of possible names are now available for auction. There have been over 17,600 auctions started so far, with over 7,500 bids from 1,100 bidders. The number of bids is lower than the number of auctions due to the official registrar's DApp's practice of opening multiple auctions for each bid in order to disguise which name a user is really bidding on. 3,278 bids have been revealed so far and 463 names registered. Price-wise, the activity has been brisk. The highest bid so far is an astonishing 29,500 Ether, around $2.6 million US dollars at current prices. That bid hasn't been revealed, so we don't know what the name is for. The highest bid revealed so far has been 6,660 ETH, about 600,000 in the name exchange.eth or exchange.eth, tomato. At present, it looks like the final price for that auction will be 1,103 Ether, or around $100,000, though the auction still has a few hours left to run. This was posted about 5 or 6 days ago, so there may be newer news than that. To continue reading the article, the most expensive names whose auctions have already finished were cbsnews.eth for 287 ETH, weather.eth for 250 ETH, and gateway.eth for 210 ETH. Evan Van Ness and the ENS team also want to remind everybody to make sure you reveal your bids, otherwise your ETH will burn. Again, that's Nick Johnson on his Medium blog post from May 11th. In other news with protocol and releases, the Ethereum Foundation has released their Ethereum research topics on hackmd.io. It says, and I quote, "Rumor has it you are interested in joint research with the Ethereum Foundation. Below are the primary topics we'll be thinking about for the next 2 to 3 years. If, like us, you enjoy the prospect of thinking about one or more of these topics for the majority of your waking hours, do get in touch. Typical outputs from researchers are peer-reviewed academic papers, technical reports, and or implementations." Check out the rest of the bullets on Week in Ethereum at blog.status.im. Some interesting news for developers. Developers. Town Crier. Town-Crier, Crier.org. Town Crier system is an authenticated data feed for smart contracts, aka an oracle. It was created by students and faculty at the Initiative for Cryptocurrencies and Contracts. Why would you use this? To read from their website, smart contract systems today lack trustworthy sources of data, as currently deployed oracles provide only weak provenance and confidentiality assurances. The Town Crier system leverages trusted hardware, or Intel SGX, to provide a strong guarantee the data comes from an existing trustworthy source. It also provides confidentiality, enabling smart contracts to support confidential queries and even manage user credentials. There's ways to get started right there on their website. Thank you, Town Crier. Moving on to Truffle. The Truffle framework has published an article called Building dApps for Quorum, Private Enterprise Blockchains. To read a bit from this release, Ethereum is perhaps best defined by its public network, a network where every transaction and all participants of each transaction are publicly available to anyone looking at its transaction history. Truffle got its start building for the public blockchain at the time of Ethereum's launch. The public blockchain was the only smart contract blockchain around. However, since launch, technology has changed, most notably with Quorum, the permission blockchain initially developed by JP Morgan. The rest of that article is available at truffleframework.com. In my eyes, it just shows that the private and public blockchains are going to intermingle quite a bit. I kind of look at the private blockchains as the back end working behind closed doors, and the public blockchain is how the public will interact with those private blockchains. I think things like Quorum and Truffle are a hint of things to come. According to Pel Brandgard of Uport, on his Medium blog post on May 8th, introducing push notifications for Uport, to quote his article, many developers told us that they wanted a better way to interact with their end users, so we added push notifications to the Uport platform. App developers can now send requests and sign credentials directly to a user's Uport mobile app. To receive your push notification, log in to demo.uport.me, it's a demo website, with your Uport mobile app and request a credential. Developers now have 3 ways of sending a request to the Uport mobile app. Mobile app or mobile browser, desktop browser, or anytime, anywhere from a server-wide application. Users can be sitting in front of the computer or they can be anywhere. Push notifications are best for maintaining, quote, longer-term, end quote, relationships with users. More at the Medium blog post by Pel Brandgard. In MetaMask news, HackerNoon.com has published an incredible tips and tricks for adding MetaMask to your user interface. Alex Miller, developer at Consensys who builds the apps leveraging the Ethereum blockchain, has written this article on HackerNoon. It's a Medium blog post as well. To quote his article, over the last few weeks, I've been developing an Ethereum app that uses MetaMask for user management, just like I said I would. Overall, this has been a painless experience, but I have found a few gotchas that I want to share. Hopefully, this will save some developers time in the future. Number 1, make sure your Ethereum client is up to date. Number 2, reset your network every time you reboot test RPC. Number 3, always check for type of Web3. Number 4, pack all your MetaMask calls into a UTIL file and don't wait to advance the UX. To end his article, 3 weeks of heavy MetaMask development, and these are really the only gripes I can come up with. Really, MetaMask is marvelous and easy to set up. Generally speaking, you should be good to go if you follow the rules, suggestions outlined above and properly reference the Web3 API. Remember to always use asynchronous calls. Synchronous ones won't work in MetaMask. In Aragon news, according to Jorge Izquierdo, I hope I said that right, at blog.aragon.one, he has an article titled Aragon Token Sale Contracts Have Been Deployed and Activated. This is as of May 15th. To quote one part of his article, as you can see, the pre-sale contributors already have tokens they received some months ago at a discounted rate. We will publish a fully transparent report about the pre-sale soon. The pre-sale was intentionally kept small in fairness to all buyers, and the discount rate was minor, roughly 20% when compared to other sales. Thank you, Jorge and the Aragon team. In other news, there's some interesting interviews and talks, including the slides, and now we have video of those slides narrated by Alex Fisher, Introduction to Ethereum Talk. Aaron Watson podcast interview of Ujo's Jesse Gruszak. Omar, aka Crypto, talks to Griff Green and to Taylor from My Ether Wallet. A coin fund Q&A with Aragon, Basic Attention Token, and Storage. And Arthur Falls has rebooted the State Change podcast. As we all know, episode 42 is the answer to the question of life. Check out all of those links at Weekend Ethereum at blog.status.im, the edition of May 14th. The Ethereum Foundation finances about $90 million, mostly in euros and CHF, 500 BTC, and 813,000 ETH. A monthly burn of $300,000. That's over 4 years of funding, even if Bitcoin and Ether go to zero. Dates of note: today, May 17th, Aragon sale begins. May 19th, storage sale begins. May 19th, Consensys Ethereal Summit in Brooklyn. May 25th, William Moygiar's Token Summit at New York University. May 30th, Mysterium sale begins. May 30th, Boncore Network sale begins. May 31st, Basic Attention Token sale begins. And June 7th, the co-founded sale begins. On a personal note, I'm super excited to say that Reddit now has an Ethereum TipBot, courtesy of user Doppio, D-O-P-P-I-O. Thank you for writing the code for this. It's been absolutely phenomenal being able to tip people for great comments on ETH and anywhere you want to on Reddit. And the most fun was, again, just being able to move funds around quickly in a very streamlined way. I had a good experience taking coins off of Coinbase, putting them into MetaMask, and then moving it over to the tip jar. And so the tip jar bot is live, and it only took me about 2 minutes to fund it. And I challenge some of you guys that have a nice stack of Ether out there, go find user Doppio and tip him, D-O-P-P-I-O, for his contribution to the Ethereum ecosystem. Personally, I tipped him a half an Ether, 0.5 Ether the other day, and it just feels really good. And you know what? Someday that Ether that I tipped him may be worth $500, but this is really a useful thing instead of using Reddit Gold. And I'll use Reddit Gold for other subreddits, obviously, but the Ethereum for the Ethereum eco space is just incredible. So thanks again for coming up with that bot, and a big shout out to you guys. Have fun. Music by Oblivinati this week. My name is Jeremiah Nichol. On behalf of Evan Van Ness, Week in Ethereum, and Status. Everybody, thanks so much for your contributions to the ETH address below. Tokens accepted as well. Be good, and we will see you soon. We read Reddit, so you don't have to. For a thought-provoking and thorough list of the latest links in the Ethereum landscape, please visit weekinethereum.com and subscribe to our weekly newsletter and podcast.
We read Reddit, so you don't have to.
ETH and related tokens are a welcome and vital part of our sustainability. Please contribute to the ETH address in the description below. Like the music? Find Oblivinati on SoundCloud. Like the voice? Follow Jeremiah Nichol on YouTube and Twitter at ProDJKC.
Evan Van Ness, founder of weekinethereum.com.